What secret do you keep from your family? That my mom scares me a lot at night when she drinks, and that keeps me up a lot. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. They all know she drinks a lot, but what they don't know is that I've been basically homeless off and on because she gets drunk and kicks me out on the regular. Like dude, the other night she gave me a concussion. It sucks sick entirely. I had a suicide pact with my cousin. He wasn't all there in the head and lived with his parents, my uncle and his wife. He would babysit me when I was 9 to 11 years/0. I think my uncle thought it would help him focus if he had to watch a kid during the summer. Over the last year that he watched me, he told me about how cruel the world was and how I would be no different because it runs in the family, and that most of the males have some kind of mental issue. True for most of the males on my mother's side of the family. By the last month we would basically spend the days crying or talking about how terrible things are. At 11 he had me convinced that the world was going to hate me. So when he brought up taking the easy way out before I would have to go through it, I agreed with him. He said we would do it the day after Christmas so we could have one last good memory with the family. I ended up getting so sick I was in the hospital from mid-December through the end of January. When I got out of the hospital, my family said I couldn't see my cousin anymore and that a neighbor would take care of me during the summers. I thought he ran away until my aunt let it slip that he shot himself in the backyard with my uncle's shotgun. Blew bits of his head onto the roof of the house. What was insane was that when I found out, I cried because he went without me and I was too scared to find another way to die. I felt like I had betrayed him by getting sick and missing our day. After about a year and going through ups and downs, I started to realize how great things were for me without having my cousin mentally dragging me down for a couple months every year. I got a girlfriend and good grades. I even moved to a whole new city. To this day, I regret not telling the family before it happened, but back then I expected to go too, so I didn't see it as a big deal. Now it would do nothing but hurt everyone. It's been over 10 years now and not a soul knows. It just confuses me how much he talked to a kid about how terrible the world was until the kid was ready to die. Honestly, I'm sure I would have gone through with it had I gone to his house for Christmas. God, I was stupid. TL Dr. Cousin said the world was shit so we should die together. I got sick so he died without me. But I'm good now. Edit. Thank you for all your kind words. I know I need to be easier on my younger self for feeling like he was right. I'm here and have no intentions of going anywhere anytime soon. If you need help, get it. If it's not near you, find it. There's always help out there. Edit 2. Thank you for the gold. When I was 12 or 13, my mom was one of those if you lock a door in my house you lose your door moms. We had no bedroom doors and no bathroom door. During this period her and my dad let a friend of theirs live with us. His name was Rob. While my mom was at work and my dad was probably gone off some pills and unconscious, he came into my bedroom and raped me. I tried to tell my mom and she told me to quit lying. What would a grown man want with me? I don't know how long after that it was that my dad caught her sucking his dick. I only told her, and I only told her once. It would kill my nana to know and wreck my dad, who hasn't been the best dad but he's tried. After a recent fight with her, I've started having nightmares about it. They're so realistic I can smell the old Budweiser on his breath. This is the first time I've admitted what happened out loud. This is kinda really stupid, but I hide my online friendships cause they're kinda closed-minded, and A, don't believe that you should talk to people you don't know, B, internet bad, and C, if you talk to a guy online, it must be a sexual thing. My family have a rough background, a lot of violence and substance use problems. I left home at 16, haven't spoken to them since, and after 7 years of university have a pretty high-paying job. I have to constantly ask websites to take down my full name because if my family found out, I'd be swamped with messages asking for money that would go straight to alcohol and ice. They already have an idea after I didn't catch a result fast enough, so it doesn't really matter, and I loosened up my social media. But I still hide my income. How much I struggle with my life, mainly with anxiety, and how I struggle to recognize my emotions and to communicate them or to handle them in general. Most people don't understand anxiety issues. I used to think it will pass, but I'm pretty old now and still get very tense in confrontations, loud noises, things out my control. If I had AB monitor, it would show wild changes often. I quit my job with the cable company a year earlier than I told them. The pressure and stress from that job became overwhelming, and it was right around the time my grandmother died, and I legit dropped everything and worked at a car dealership for a year before I got my insurance licenses. I tried to hang myself with one of my school ties when I was 15 years old. Thankfully the hook holding the noose on the door snapped, otherwise I might not have been here to write this story. Thankfully life got much better after that. I still haven't told anybody to this day, not even my parents or girlfriend. Whilst life isn't perfect right now, trying to find a job in the current market after graduating last year, at 22 years old, my life is much better than it was when I was 15. Overall my life is so much better. I'm surrounded with a great support network, and I thank myself every day that my suicide attempt failed. I am no longer a virgin. Not that my mom cares, but the way I lost my virginity was really bad, and I know I'll disappoint her if she knew, even if I feel upset about it. Also, while the names of my social media accounts, no way in hell my fam gets those. I was raped 3x by the time I turned 18. As a guy it's hard to tell them. I totally understand and am with you, man. I was sexually abused by 2 completely unrelated older men. First when I was 8 to 9, then later when I was 11. My family was fanatically religious, and I knew if I told anyone I would have a bunch of crazy people casting demons out of me and shoving Jesus down my throat. Still to this day I've only told a handful of people. I've worked past the confusion, the anger, the self-pity and feelings of indifference alone, and I look back and regret not being more open about the mental war that was going on in my head. You can always message me if you want to talk or anything. You're not alone. That my dog saved my life. When I was 14 I was pretty depressed, and after a particularly difficult day at school, I was not exactly popular. I grabbed some rope from my garage and planned on hanging myself. I started getting it set up, but my dog came running in and wanted to play tug of war with the rope. If he didn't do that, I wouldn't be here today. It's hard for me to type this because I'm putting him down in a few minutes. He has been living in pain for a long time and has reached the end of his life. I'm crying really fucking hard right now, but I know it's the right thing to do. Edit, just said goodbye. I know he's in a better place now, but it hurts so bad. Edit, thank you to everyone who reached out. Heart, it means a lot to me and I appreciate your kind words of support. I know Milo would have loved all you guys. Where to begin? My mom was fucking my dad's best friend right before dad's best friend started dating my cousin. When my mom found out they were dating, she tried to break them up. When they got married, my mom refused to allow my little sister or I to be in the wedding, my cousin asked, or go to it. My dad was suicidal. I took a gun out of his mouth. My mom stole $54,000 from me after my dad died. She used it to buy herself clothes and fly back and forth to Boston to cheat on my stepdad. I paid for my little sister's class trip. My grandmother explicitly wrote my sister, brother, and I out of her will. My husband and I got married a year before our actual wedding. I'm about to sue my aunt for my dad's house, very long story there. Think that about covers it. That most days I'm too broke to even buy my son diapers. I often have to choose between diapers and baby wipes, and something I need for myself like shampoo or underwear. They also don't know that I have severe depression and that I'm suicidal. The only reason I am still alive is for my son. No one will love him or take care of him better than me. And I will not leave him to suffer through life like I did because my mom bailed on me. I have a responsibility towards him and I don't care if I never buy myself anything ever again. He's my baby and I will not fail him like my parents failed me. Edit, wow, this kinda blew up. I really appreciate all your guys' advice and help. I am following up on each of them and I'm sure that you guys made my life a lot easier. And my husband is aware that I'm suicidal and he's helping me through this and keeping an eye on me. Thank you for your support and kind words. It means a lot to see that there is a lot of kindness out there. Edit 2. I've been getting a lot of messages from people who want to help. So, I made a post here that explains my situation and has GoFundMe pages if you want to help. If you want to help but can't, then please share my GoFundMe pages with somebody you know. Maybe I can finally get my life back on track. Thank you all again. I dropped out of college. It was never ending, and I was exhausted. They forced me into graphic design, and while I don't mind it, I'd prefer to never do it professionally. I'm more of a freelancer. They wanted their only kid to go to college and graduate, and I couldn't even give them that. Fuck, that last sentence hit me hard. Congratulations, you've reached the end. Tap on Reddit Piggy to subscribe to be blessed with 2 days of amazing luck, and also plenty of interesting videos from Village Reddit.